Listen, I have messed up so many times in this industry, as have the majority of the people in the horse world. Today, I'm going to go over some of my biggest mistakes I've made as an equestrian, how I overcame them, and how you can too. And if you're new here, hello, welcome. My name is Shay, and on this channel, I talk about my Mustang Penny, horse training, and a little bit of horsey educational content. With all that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the video. First up, not taking my own health seriously. When I became a parent, this completely changed my view on health in general, not just physical, but mental and emotional. There's a reason why on an airplane, if the masks all drop, you have to take care of yourself first. And I've related that so much to parenting. You have to make sure that you take care of yourself, because if you aren't being taken care of, you can't take care of those around you, and that includes your horses. I've had a pretty lengthy history of depression in my life, and there are times that it makes it really hard to prioritize going out to the barn. There were times that with Full Care Board, I wouldn't go out but once or twice a month to make sure that board was paid. And I didn't realize until now just how important it is for my own physical and mental health to be able to go out to the barn, but to just spend time with my horse, to make sure she's taken care of. It's so important. And listen, I get it. Depression is mental health sucks, and sometimes there are days that we can't get past it. But make sure that you're taking just those little steps forward to be able to improve your overall health. If that means waking up and figuring that today's gonna be really hard and you can get downstairs, get something to eat in your stomach, take a drink of water, then that's great. That's a step forward. Maybe the next day you'll make it out to the barn, and that's okay. But by keeping up with your physical health, whether it's through good diet or plenty of exercise, that can hugely impact your mental health and make it where you're more excited to go out to the barn every day. The second biggest mistake that I think that I've made in horse training in general is not looking at other methods for the longest time. I've been involved in the horse world for probably a good 20 years, and that ages me a little bit. Oops. And it wasn't until the last couple years that my eyes really started opening to the differences in all the training methods. And that is not to say that any one training method is better than another, but by opening myself up to different methods and different trainers, I've been able to change how I train and how I see my horse. If you're feeling stuck when it comes to training at all, look into something different. If it's a new discipline, if it's a new quadrant in operant conditioning, which I do have a video about if you don't know what I'm talking about, maybe look into positive reinforcement. Maybe see if there's a different negative reinforcement trainer that might work better for you. Changing things up can insanely change your perspective on training. Mistake number 3, I almost did 2. Pick number 2, my lord. Wait, what is it? It's pick number 3?
Hey, pick number 3, my lord.
Mistake number 3 was learning only in lessons. Don't get me wrong, lessons are great. And if you have a great trainer, they can be an insane resource for you to be able to soak in all the knowledge. But I didn't really feel like I started learning more and more until I regularly started reading books about training or horse behavior. I got a job at a vet clinic, which was insanely eye-opening, watching plenty of YouTube videos or taking courses. And the greatest part about the equestrian world is we have not just riding, not just training, we have this whole world of knowledge sitting there at our feet. Things like vet work, farrier work, horse behavior are all so important to learn so that you can create a more balanced relationship for you and your horse. Mistake number 4 is not being an advocate for my horses. I am a major people pleaser. I have a very hard time saying no, and sometimes that can lead to a lot of issues when it comes to the care of my horses. This last year taught me a lot as far as the knowledge that I have and having confidence in that knowledge to know that maybe a vet isn't 100% right in what they're saying. Maybe we should make adjustments with our farrier and shouldn't just blindly trust what people tell us. Whether that's recommendations from others, people that we hardly know, or people hanging out at the barn. It's so important to be that advocate for your horse. You know them more than anyone else does. Mistake number 5 is very hard for me. I hold a lot of guilt and I tend to not forgive myself for a lot of things. Oftentimes, it's for the little things. It's not for anything major, but I continue to hold on to that and let it fester instead of giving myself a little bit of grace. Especially when it comes to taking care of a whole other being, it is so hard to want to keep trying sometimes if you feel like all you're doing is wrong. And especially these last couple of years, I've had to continuously tell myself, you don't know what you don't know. And that is so important to remember, especially in this day and age when there is just an abundance of information out there. Our situations change throughout the years, and a lot of things that I did as a kid, I would never do now. But that's not something that we learn until we are in this moment, until we've grown up, and until we've made all these mistakes. We all make mistakes, and to be honest, this industry is notorious for dragging those mistakes. But here's the deal, like I said before, you don't know what you don't know. By continuing to learn, we open ourselves up to disappointment in ourselves, in our situation, but that also gives us a chance to be able to grow past our previous mistakes. After all, only failure leads to growth. If y'all like this video, maybe go check out one of my last ones that talked about how I am completely uprooting my life over the next few months, and maybe you should try too. In the comments down below, let me know what mistakes that you have learned and grown from in the horse world. Don't forget to like, subscribe, ding the notification bell, do all the things, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys!